Have you ever heard this chilling laugh? It's from a nurse who was caught laughing while her patients died. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to talk about a mysterious 911 call. So let me know in the comments what you think I am talking about. On October 2012, University of North Carolina student Faith Hedgepeth was found dead in her off-campus apartment. The 911 call that followed is both heartbreaking and haunting. If you enjoyed this video, then please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss another terrifying tale. When Karina Rosario, Faith's roommate, returned home from a night out around 3 a.m., she found Faith asleep in their apartment, to which Karina replied, "No, I just got back. I came out of the shower." She was in the same position. I didn't want to touch her because I didn't want to get in trouble for messing up the crime scene. But as weeks turned into months and then years, the lack of progress in the investigation only fueled more frustration. The passage of time seemed to diminish the public's interest in the case. But for Faith's loved ones, the pain of not knowing what happened to her remained raw. Everything seemed fine, so she went to sleep. Hours later, she woke up and noticed that Faith still hadn't moved. Miguel Salguero Olivares, a man who wasn't well known to Faith's family, was arrested after police matched his DNA-2 samples taken from the crime scene. Initially thinking nothing of it, she went about her morning routine, showering and getting ready. She even left the house for a while. What was the motive behind such a horrific crime? Why did the killer leave a cryptic note? And why did it take so long for justice to be served? A promising student with a bright future ahead of her, the case sparked outrage not only because of its brutality, but also because of the chilling 911 call made by her roommate, a call that revealed the harsh reality of domestic violence. Throughout the call, Karina's voice remained shaky. She kept repeating herself, saying, "I don't think she's okay." She only realized in the morning that something was wrong. "I think she's dead," but never escalating into hysteria. The measured tone of her voice suggested a different kind of panic, a confusion born out of shock. When she came back, Faith was still laying in the same spot. It wasn't until 11:01 a.m. when Karina called 911 and said, "I just walked in. My friend is unconscious. I think she's dead." There was blood on the walls and on the bed, and scrawled across the bedroom door was a message, "I'm not stupid, jealous." Although forensic evidence suggested a struggle, Faith's injuries weren't immediately visible due to the bloodstains. And in the days following the tragedy, her family and friends struggled to understand the nature of her death. Upon hearing this, the operator calmly asked, "Okay, are you sure you haven't touched her or felt for a pulse?" The operator continued to keep her on the line, instructing her to check if Faith was breathing and asking her to stay on the phone until help arrived. It almost sounded as if she wasn't there when it happened. By the time emergency services arrived at the apartment, it was clear that Faith had been dead for some time. A sense of urgency drove them to demand answers from the police. Then in 2021, nearly a decade after Faith's death, an update shook everyone to their core. With a suspect in custody, it seemed like the case was finally moving forward. But the details surrounding the arrest raised more questions than they answered. While the arrest brought a sense of relief, the road to closure was far from easy. This was the case of a young woman whose life was cut tragically short. If you like this type of content, then make sure to stay tuned for more updates.